You walk into the grocery store, grab a bottle of salad dressing, and think you're making a healthy choice. Crisp lettuce, fresh veggies, a splash of flavor. But what if that healthy bottle is quietly sabotaging your health? Hidden sugars that spike your blood pressure, preservatives that damage your gut, and chemicals that disrupt your hormones are hiding in plain sight. In this video, we're exposing 10 salad dressings that look harmless, but are secretly destroying your health, and revealing the two that are actually safe. Behind those bright, fresh labels lurk ingredients that trigger inflammation, mess with your metabolism, and increase your risk of serious health issues. I've spent weeks researching recalls, ingredient lists, and nutritionist reports to uncover what the food industry doesn't want you to know. By the end, you'll know exactly which dressings to ditch, and which two you can finally trust. Starting off our list at number 10, we have Wishbone Italian, the classic red cap that's been in American refrigerators for generations. It promises authentic Italian flavor with herbs and spices, but crack open that ingredient list and you'll find a chemistry experiment masquerading as food. High fructose corn syrup sits near the top, delivering a sugar punch that sends your blood glucose soaring faster than a can of soda. Here's what makes this particularly insidious. You pour what looks like a reasonable amount, maybe 2 tablespoons, thinking you're adding flavor to your vegetables. But those 2 tablespoons pack nearly 8 grams of sugar. That's more than you'd get in a chocolate chip cookie. Your pancreas doesn't care that it came from a salad dressing. Sugar is sugar, and this hidden dose can derail your entire day's blood sugar control. The sodium content tells an equally troubling story. Nearly 300 milligrams per serving, and let's be honest, most people use more than the suggested serving size. For anyone monitoring their blood pressure or taking heart medications, that sodium bomb can push you over your daily limit before you've even finished your appetizer. Then there's the preservative cocktail. Calcium disodium EDTA, potassium sorbate, and sodium benzoate work together to keep the dressing shelf stable for months. These chemicals don't just preserve the product, they accumulate in your system over time. Studies have linked some of these preservatives to allergic reactions and digestive upset, particularly in sensitive individuals. Moving to number 9, we encounter Ken's Steakhouse Ranch, the creamy white promise of comfort food that's become America's favorite dressing. But beneath that familiar tang lies a web of problematic ingredients that make this bottle a poor choice for anyone serious about their health. Soybean oil takes the lead position, and this isn't the healthy fat your body craves. Highly processed and often derived from genetically modified soybeans, this oil undergoes chemical extraction and refining that strips away any beneficial properties while leaving behind inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. Your body needs omega-3s and omega-6s in balance, but the standard American diet is already drowning in omega-6s, creating chronic inflammation that contributes to everything from joint pain to heart disease. The egg yolks in ranch dressing could be nutritious, but not when they're pasteurized to death and combined with artificial flavors. Natural flavor might sound innocent, but it's actually a catch-all term that can hide dozens of chemical compounds. The FDA allows manufacturers to use this vague label for any flavoring substance derived from natural sources, but that doesn't mean it's good for you. Sugar appears again, though it's disguised as corn syrup. Combined with the high sodium content, this creates the perfect storm for water retention and blood pressure spikes. The monosodium glutamate, or MSG, enhances flavor, but can trigger headaches, flushing, and digestive issues in sensitive people. At number 8, we dive into Hidden Valley Ranch, the original ranch that started America's obsession. The irony is thick because there's nothing hidden about the problems in this valley of artificial ingredients and preservatives. Maltodextrin leads the charge, a heavily processed carbohydrate that spikes blood sugar faster than table sugar itself. Food manufacturers love it because it's cheap and extends shelf life, but your body treats it like pure glucose. For diabetics or anyone trying to maintain stable energy levels, this ingredient alone makes Hidden Valley a dangerous choice. The modified food starch raises additional concerns. This isn't the natural starch found in whole foods, it's chemically altered to improve texture and stability. The modification process can involve acids, enzymes, or other chemicals that leave residues in the final product. While the FDA considers it safe, some modified starches have been linked to digestive issues and blood sugar irregularities. Artificial flavors dominate the ingredient list, creating that familiar ranch taste without using real herbs or spices. These synthetic compounds are designed to trigger pleasure responses in your brain, making you crave more. It's food science at work, engineering addiction to keep you buying bottle after bottle. Number 7 brings us to Kraft Catalina, the sweet and tangy dressing that turns salads into dessert. The deep red color might look appealing, but it comes from red dye 40, a petroleum-based artificial color that's been linked to hyperactivity in children and allergic reactions in sensitive adults. High fructose corn syrup dominates this formula, making Catalina more like liquid candy than salad dressing. A single serving delivers nearly 10 grams of sugar, but the viscous texture means most people use far more than the recommended amount. That sugar rush is followed by an inevitable crash, leaving you tired and craving more sweets within hours. The paprika extract might sound natural, but it's often processed with chemical solvents to concentrate the color and flavor. These solvents are supposed to be removed during manufacturing, but traces can remain in the final product. Combined with the preservatives and artificial flavors, Catalina becomes a chemical cocktail that your liver has to work overtime to process. Tomato puree provides some vitamins, but it's overshadowed by the sugar and additives. The acetic acid, while naturally occurring in vinegar, is often synthetic in commercial dressings, produced through chemical processes rather than traditional fermentation. Before we continue with more dangerous dressings, remember to hit that subscribe button. Every week we expose the foods that look healthy but are secretly damaging your health. Don't miss the truth that could save your next meal. Up next, we're diving into a dressing that promises health but delivers something far more sinister. At number 6, we encounter Thousand Island, the pink-hued favorite that masks its problems behind a sweet and creamy facade. That distinctive coral color comes from a mixture of artificial dyes and tomato paste, but the real danger lurks in the sugar content that rivals dessert sauces. Corn syrup and sugar team up to deliver a 1-2 punch that sends blood glucose levels into overdrive. The typical serving contains over 12 grams of sugar, more than you'd find in a glazed donut. But here's the cruel twist. The creamy texture and tangy flavor make it easy to use double or triple the recommended serving size without realizing it. The pickle relish might seem like a healthy addition, but commercial varieties are loaded with high fructose corn syrup and artificial preservatives. Sodium benzoate keeps those pickles shelf-stable, but it also forms benzene when combined with vitamin C, creating a potential carcinogen right in your salad bowl. Distilled vinegar sounds innocent enough, but the distillation process strips away beneficial compounds found in naturally fermented vinegars. What remains is essentially acetic acid with none of the probiotics or enzymes that make real vinegar beneficial for digestion. The mayonnaise base brings its own set of problems. Soybean oil, egg yolks treated with chemicals to prevent spoilage, and emulsifiers that help everything stick together. These emulsifiers can disrupt your gut lining over time, potentially contributing to digestive issues and inflammation. Moving to number 5, we face Newman's own balsamic vinaigrette, a dressing that trades on a charitable reputation while delivering ingredients that don't deserve your trust. The label promises authentic balsamic flavor, but the reality is far from the traditional aged vinegars of Modena. Caramel color gives this dressing its rich brown appearance, but this isn't the caramel you make at home by heating sugar. Commercial caramel color is produced using ammonia and sulfites under high pressure and temperature. This process can create 4-methylimidazole, a compound that's been linked to cancer in animal studies. The balsamic vinegar itself is often a cheap imitation made from wine vinegar mixed with grape juice and caramel coloring. Real balsamic vinegar is aged for years in wooden barrels, developing complex flavors and beneficial compounds. This industrial version delivers the taste without any of the health benefits. Xanthan gum appears as a thickening agent, and while it's derived from bacterial fermentation, it can cause digestive upset in some people. Bloating, gas, and changes in bowel movements are common complaints from those sensitive to this additive. The natural flavors listed could be anything from beaver glands to wood pulp derivatives. The FDA's loose definition of natural means it came from something that was once alive, but the processing methods can be entirely synthetic. Number 4 takes us to Caesar dressing, specifically Cardini's Caesar, the brand that claims to have invented this classic. But invention doesn't mean perfection, and this bottle proves that tradition can hide modern problems. Anchovies should be the star of any Caesar dressing, but here they're overwhelmed by a sea of additives and preservatives. The fish paste is treated with sodium benzoate and potassium sorbate to extend shelf life, chemicals that can trigger allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Parmesan cheese sounds wholesome until you realize it's been processed with cellulose to prevent caking. This wood pulp derivative is technically safe, but it dilutes the nutritional value of the cheese while adding an unnecessary industrial ingredient to your meal. The egg yolks come pasteurized and preserved, stripping away the natural enzymes and beneficial compounds that make fresh eggs nutritious. What remains is protein and fat wrapped in chemical preservatives. Lemon juice concentrate replaces fresh lemon juice, losing the vitamin C and natural enzymes in the process. The concentration method often involves heat treatment that destroys delicate nutrients while preserving shelf stability. At number 3, we examine French dressing, specifically Kraft's version that bears little resemblance to anything French. The bright orange color comes from yellow dye 6 and red dye 40, artificial colors that have been linked to behavioral issues in children and allergic reactions in sensitive adults. High fructose corn syrup dominates the ingredient list, turning what should be a tangy vinaigrette into liquid candy. The sugar content exceeds that of many dessert toppings, making this dressing a metabolic nightmare for anyone watching their blood sugar. Paprika oleoresin provides color and flavor, but the extraction process uses chemical solvents that may leave trace residues. While the FDA considers these residues safe, they're just another unnecessary chemical burden for your liver to process. The tomato puree might provide some lycopene, but it's overshadowed by the sugar, artificial colors, and preservatives. Any nutritional benefit gets lost in the chemical cocktail that makes up the majority of this product. Number 2 brings us to blue cheese dressing, particularly Marie's chunky blue cheese, a creamy indulgence that packs more problems than cheese chunks. The blue cheese itself is often made with modified milk proteins and artificial blue cheese flavoring rather than real aged cheese. Soybean oil takes the leading position again, delivering inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids that throw off your body's delicate balance. Combined with the high sodium content, this creates perfect conditions for inflammation and water retention. The chunks of blue cheese swimming in the dressing are preserved with natamycin, an antifungal agent that prevents mold growth. While approved for food use, it's essentially a pharmaceutical drug being added to your salad dressing. Propylene glycol alginate serves as an emulsifier and thickener, helping keep the oil and water mixed. This chemical is also used in antifreeze and paint, though the food-grade version is considered safe. Still, it's another industrial additive your great-grandmother wouldn't recognize. And finally, claiming the number 1 spot for dressings to avoid at all costs, we have Italian dressing, specifically Kraft Zesty Italian. This bottle epitomizes everything wrong with commercial salad dressings, combining the worst ingredients into one convenient package. High fructose corn syrup leads the charge, delivering sugar in one of its most damaging forms. Your liver processes fructose differently from other sugars, converting much of it directly into fat, which can contribute to fatty liver disease over time. It's marketed as natural, but its effects are anything but harmless. Then come the herb and spice blends, often just artificial flavorings designed to mimic real ingredients. These synthetic compounds can trigger your taste receptors, but they provide none of the antioxidants or beneficial nutrients found in genuine herbs and spices. Calcium disodium, EDTA, appears as a preservative and color stabilizer. It works by binding to minerals, but regular consumption can potentially interfere with your body's natural mineral absorption. While small amounts are considered safe, its presence signals just how far removed these foods are from anything truly natural. Red bell pepper adds color and a hint of vegetable nutrition, but it's overshadowed by the chemical cocktail surrounding it. Any vitamins present get lost in the sea of preservatives, artificial flavors, and sugar. The distilled vinegar provides acidity, but none of the beneficial compounds found in naturally fermented vinegars. Combined with water, oil, and chemicals, it creates a product that barely resembles food. But not every bottle in the dressing aisle is out to sabotage your health. Some actually deliver on their promises of flavor and nutrition. Let me show you the 2 dressings that are genuinely safe to keep in your refrigerator. First up on our safe list, we have Primal Kitchen Avocado Oil Ranch. This bottle represents everything a salad dressing should be, starting with its base of avocado oil instead of inflammatory seed oils. Avocado oil provides healthy monounsaturated fats that your body actually needs, supporting heart health and helping you absorb fat-soluble vitamins from your vegetables. The ingredient list reads like a recipe you could make at home. Organic eggs, organic herbs, sea salt, and organic garlic create the familiar ranch flavor without artificial enhancers or chemical preservatives. No high fructose corn syrup, no artificial colors, no mysterious natural flavors hiding industrial chemicals. What sets this apart is the absence of inflammatory ingredients that plague conventional dressings. The eggs come from pasture-raised chickens providing omega-3 fatty acids and fat-soluble vitamins. The herbs are organic and dried naturally, preserving their antioxidant properties without chemical processing. The sodium content sits at a reasonable level, giving you flavor without the blood pressure spike. Sugar is virtually non-existent, keeping your blood glucose stable while you enjoy your salad. Even the packaging reflects the commitment to quality, using glass bottles that don't leach chemicals into the product. This dressing proves you don't have to sacrifice taste for health. The creamy texture and rich flavor come from real ingredients working together, not artificial emulsifiers and chemical thickeners forcing incompatible substances to mix. And taking the second safe spot, we have Tessemae's Organic Lemon Garlic. This vinaigrette strips away the complexity and chemicals, focusing on simple ingredients that deliver both flavor and nutrition. Organic olive oil forms the base, providing heart-healthy fats and natural antioxidants that support overall health. The lemon juice comes from real lemons, not concentrate, preserving the vitamin C and natural enzymes that get destroyed in processing. Fresh garlic provides allicin, a compound with natural antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. Organic herbs add flavor without artificial enhancers or chemical preservatives. What you won't find is equally impressive. No sugar, no corn syrup, no artificial colors or flavors. The ingredient list contains fewer than 10 items, all of which you could pronounce and find in a well-stocked kitchen. This transparency reflects a commitment to real food rather than manufactured products. The olive oil deserves special mention because it's cold-pressed and organic, preserving the beneficial compounds that make olive oil a cornerstone of healthy diets. Unlike the processed seed oils found in conventional dressings, this oil supports rather than undermines your health goals. The acidity comes from real lemon juice rather than synthetic. Vinegar, providing natural enzymes and vitamin C that support immune function and iron absorption. The garlic isn't powder or artificial flavoring, but actual garlic that provides genuine nutritional benefits. Storage becomes simple with this dressing because it doesn't rely on chemical preservatives for shelf stability. Refrigeration keeps it fresh, and the short ingredient list means fewer things can go wrong or degrade over time. These two dressings prove that healthy options exist if you know what to look for. They cost more than conventional brands, but the price difference reflects the quality of ingredients and the absence of cheap fillers and chemical additives. When shopping for salad dressings, your ingredient list should be your guide. Real ingredients you recognize, minimal processing, and no chemical preservatives or artificial additives. The bottle might cost more upfront, but your health savings down the road make it a worthwhile investment. The salad aisle doesn't have to be a minefield of hidden dangers. Armed with the right information, you can choose dressings that enhance rather than undermine your health goals. Your vegetables deserve better than chemical cocktails masquerading as food. Remember that your salad dressing often determines whether your healthy meal stays healthy or becomes another source of inflammation and blood sugar chaos. The choice is yours, but now you have the information to choose wisely. Your taste buds might need time to adjust to real flavors after years of artificial enhancers, but the transition is worth it. Real food tastes different because it is different, providing nutrition along with flavor instead of empty calories wrapped in chemicals. The next time you reach for that familiar bottle, pause and read the ingredient list. Ask yourself whether you want to fuel your body with real nutrition or feed it a chemistry experiment. Your health depends on making that distinction clear and choosing accordingly. So there you have it. 10 salad dressings that promise health but deliver chemical chaos, and 2 that actually keep their word. The worst offenders hide behind familiar brands, loading bottles with sugar, seed oils, and preservatives your body struggles to process. From Wishbone's sugar bombs to Kraft's artificial blends, these dressings quietly turn a healthy salad into a metabolic trap. But you don't have to sacrifice flavor for health. Brands like Primal Kitchen and Tessemae's prove that real ingredients, clean oils, herbs, and minimal processing, create better taste and support your body instead of sabotaging it. The secret is simple. Read ingredients, not labels. Choose short, recognizable lists over chemical formulas. Your liver, metabolism, and energy levels will thank you. Don't let your salad become a Trojan horse for hidden toxins. Make the switch and turn every meal into real nourishment.